Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Who are Jose Mourinho's top 5 Manchester United transfer targets this summer? Now, I'm not going to say we are going to sign 5. I'm sure Jose would like 5, but there has to be a hierarchy of what he wants in order on that list. So, who is in at number 5? Well, I believe that not Antoine Griezmann in at number 5, but I put a picture of him there because simply I think that if Anthony Martial is going to leave Manchester United, as many people think he will, then the replacement for him has to be somebody of that top echelon standard. Willian, for me, at 30 years of age, Premier League proven or not, is not a long-term certainty and not really a good replacement for Anthony Martial. We must be looking better than that. I think there's going to be a meltdown if Martial leaves, and if he does go, there needs to be something spectacular that comes in. Now, Griezmann is pretty much understood to be going to Barcelona, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did go there, but it's not done yet, and maybe Griezmann is a possibility. But what about Dybala? What about Gareth Bale? These are the sort of players that I think Manchester United have got to be looking at if they're going to let Anthony Martial go. So in at number 5, Griezmann sort of represents that sort of signing. And I would throw James Rodriguez in there. I think for me, he is the number 1 I would take in that position. I don't know whether that deal can even be done. He has the same agent as Jose Mourinho and George Mendes. But James Rodriguez in as a replacement for Anthony Martial, that is the sort of signing that Manchester United should be looking at doing. Number 4, Fred. Interesting about Fred because Manchester United need a midfielder, and his agent or his captain at Shakhtar Donetsk said he's coming to Manchester, and we know that Manchester City are going to get Jorginho, so Fred looks like he'll be coming to Manchester United. And I like the look of Fred, and I think he'll be very, very good for Manchester United. Around his mid-20s, 5'6", quick, skillful, more of an attacking midfielder, something we haven't got in our midfield. Now, I very nearly put Fabinho in there, 24 years of age, but we're just not linked to Fabinho. And Fabinho is more defensive than Fred is. And I think when you look at United's problems in a midfield sense, the problem we're having is creating and getting the ball from back to front quicker. So Fred has to be the priority at the moment for Manchester United over a Fabinho, who effectively could probably do Matic's job a little bit quicker, but Matic isn't going anywhere anyway. And I think we've got so many holes we need to fix before we improve potential issues. So Fred definitely would be in at number 4 for me. At number 3, Samuel Umtiti, 24 years of age as well, same age as Fabinho, and we need a centre-back at Manchester United. A lot of people are talking about Toby Alderweireld, and he is a very good centre-back. But he's 29 and a half, he's a little bit injury prone, and he's going to cost a lot of money, and I'm not convinced Spurs would sell to us anyway. The backstory with Berbatov, Daniel Levy, Spurs always want to extract a lot of money from us, and I just don't think the value's there, and also I think we're only being mentioned to boost the value of Toby Alderweireld to go somewhere else. However, we might end up signing him, but I've put Umtiti in there because he, again, a bit like Griezmann, symbolises the sort of centre-back that we should be going for at Manchester United if we're going to go for a centre-back. He's available at around £50 million with his buyout clause. Will he sign a new contract at Barcelona or will he come to Manchester United? And I would take him. He's a very, very, very good centre-back who can be improved even more by Jose Mourinho, who we know is, his strengths are his defensive side of things. So Umtiti would be the number 1 centre-back choice for me if we're going to go for one. That doesn't mean those people who want Toby Alderweireld are going to miss out, because that number 3 spot effectively symbolises centre-backs, and there may well be others that you think, but I would go Umtiti with that. Number 2, Alex Sandro, left-back, Juventus. We know we need a left-back. The Luke Shaw journey seems to be coming towards an end. I think Luke Shaw probably will move on from Manchester United this summer. And we need to go out and get a very, very good centre-back. And as of now, Alex Sandro is the best available left-back in world football. Don't be going for Danny Rose. Kieran Tierney at Celtic is a very interesting option. But what's the difference between Tierney and Luke Shaw? I'm sure if you put Luke Shaw at Celtic, playing at left-back week in, week out in that league, Luke Shaw would be a revelation as well. I'm not putting Tierney down. I think he's got great potential, but I don't see what he's got that Luke Shaw hasn't got at the moment. And for that reason, I just don't think Mourinho will go there, because again, it's a younger player who's going to need development, who's going to need time to get used to the Premier League. Alex Sandro, 27 years of age, been playing at Juventus for a number of years. He's won trophies, he's experienced, he's got that Brazilian mentality that Jose spoke about. He's quick, he's strong, he's got a decent height for a fullback, he's just under 6 foot. That's the signing Manchester United need to be making, and it's almost the priority signing. That's why he's in at number 2. And I think that deal will happen. I think it will happen very, very soon. I think the only thing holding it up is what Luke Shaw's going to do about his future. But Alexandro in at number 2 can have no issues with that. And then surprise, surprise, Milinkovic-Savic number 1. It's not really a surprise, is it? I think he is the standout midfielder in world football this season at Lazio. He's been absolutely superb. He's got the height that Mourinho wants. He's got the flair that Mourinho wants. He's got the fight that Mourinho wants. He gets a lot of yellow cards, and some people take that as a negative thing. But I remember when we were linked to Sergio Ramos a couple of summers ago, and people were talking about his disciplinary record, and I was saying, well, that's good. The flip side of lots of yellow cards shows that you get your foot in and you're a battler, and I think United lack that in bucket loads. We are not tenacious. We are not fighters, and Milinkovic-Savic would bring that, and Jose would certainly love that. He'd love his height. I think he's 6'4", 6'3", which is again something that Jose likes, especially in that midfield area. Because why he always played Fellaini as a centre defensive midfielder really isn't because of his ball skills. It's because it cuts out that ball from defence to attack of the opposition, because they've got to get it over a tall lad, and Milinkovic-Savic can provide that obviously from the midfield. But more importantly, from Manchester United fans' point of view, it is that flair, it is that ability to score goals. He's quite quick, he's got a good touch, and in our midfield we need some of that. We need some of that dynamism, we need some of that flair, as I've said, and Milinkovic-Savic would bring that. He's in at number 1 because I think he is the priority. He would be the, whatever you want to call it, the Galactico or the signal statement of the summer, the big signing. You will make signings at your club, but there'll always be one signing that's the most exciting and the biggest. And Milinkovic-Savic would be that. And he will be Manchester United's number 1 priority. But, big but, can we do it? Can we pull it off? And the reality is, as I said, he has been one of the best, if not the best midfielder this season, and that means that it won't just be Manchester United looking at him. There'll be a lot of clubs looking at him. Hopefully that Serbian connection with Matic at the World Cup will be good enough to make him come to Manchester United if we go for it, because £100 million, I don't think he's worth any more than 80, but he's going to go to the World Cup. It's a World Cup summer. If he has a decent World Cup, it will go up. And I can't see that deal being done before the World Cup, as I've said before, but he would be the number 1 priority for Manchester United. So there it is, Jose Mourinho's top 5 Manchester United transfer targets for the summer. Some of them are a little bit, the player symbolises the position. Number 5, Griezmann, but it could be, I'm just saying it needs to be a status signing, a big top-class status signing if Martial goes. And the same with the centre-back, Umtiti. If we're going to sign a centre-back, it's got to be a top-class centre-back. We've got lots of good centre-backs, but it's got to be a top-class one. But Sandro, Fred and Milinkovic-Savic, as I've said before, those 3 signings are the players, and I think they're in the right positions. Get commenting below. What are your top 5? We want to know what your top 5 are. Get commenting below and give us your thoughts. Remember to hit a like on the button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and get involved with the United Stand. Thanks for watching.